how out of tune would that really have sounded? In my head it was perfect, but then you always go back and listen to these things and they're terrible. Hello everybody, welcome to another video. Today we're continuing on in the crystal mines. P55 is making a lot of angry, horrible noises, so we will give him an antidote. Oh, we don't no, there you go, we do have an antidote. Feel free to drink that up, buddy. So today we are still in the mines. I predict maybe one more episode beyond this one as well in here. I actually didn't manage to complete the whole place on my test file. I got a random and sudden game over because of a trap, and I hadn't saved for like ages. So it was very disappointing, and I decided to rage quit and then come play with you guys instead. So today we're not just going down one floor, but we're going down two. This is the top floor. This is the Crystal Mines entrance, which we did last episode. Sorry, I took a little bit of a cough. Over there you can see a power gem. I believe this will be the last power gem, sort of, for us to get in the game, or at least it'll be the last thing we get before moving on to some other things. I'll put it that way to try and keep it spoilerish free. So even though it looks like it's kind of close, even though it looks like, hey, there might be just a secret button we can click here and it'll create a light bridge, it's actually a bit of effort to get over there. So what we're going to do instead is we're going to head downstairs. Oh, wait, hold on. Wasn't there something we still had to do upstairs? Oh god, how is this already sort of leaving my mind? Wasn't over here there was another branch? Oh yeah, something very, very minor. In the last episode we could have come down here. This is just after you put the mine key in. You can take a left, you can take a right. I didn't take the left, this was the left. And here we just find some stuff, some cannonballs, which I guess Ticker can have because he's not actually being very weighed down right now. A regular energy potion, which feels very out of place considering how high level the zone is. And here we get a bunch of crossbow quarrels or bolts and another crossbow here. So if you missed the crossbow in the cemetery secret, this would be the opportunity to get another one. Thing is though, that secret in the cemetery is really kind of easy if you guys remember. I do love the look of the crossbow on the floor. This is like one of those weapons that just makes me think of classic gaming. Like you'd walk over it, you get it as a pickup, like we're playing Doom or something. It's like, weapon acquired, and then we get to go kick ass with it. But yeah, so there is another crossbow here, and we, of course, don't need it. We only have one missile weapons guy anyway. In fact, I think it would, one of the hardest ways to play through Grimrock, I guess, would be a full team of missile weapons users. You'd have to spread a lot of ammo out, and they're not particularly good weapons in the first place. Here's another spider as well. I guess we never came up here either. And I totally will be honest with you guys, I cannot remember a thing about what was up here, but we should check it out. Oh yeah, no, this was a little secret as well. Wow, I've actually got a lot to show you guys in this recording, I suppose. My little test file session there must have whizzed past really quickly. So here you'll see that there's a chest there, but no discernible way of getting to it. Reminds me a lot of that old Desaroon secret we had. But well, around the corner or nearby here, we should find a secret button on one of the walls, which we can just press to happily get through. Here we get a sack. Last episode also we found a sack, and I never showed you guys what was in it. We'll do that now. This one has got some salted pork and some anti-venom too, in fact. Torch, which we don't really care about. I'm going to drop that sack. The other person to pick one up. Oh, hold on. Why has he got two empty sacks? It's going to weird me out. Alright, that's fine. The other one was in Tickrit's inventory, and here you can find, again, more anti-venom. I knew we had a bunch. And a lockpick there. Sorry I didn't collect that, you guys. The funny thing is, if I ever do pick one of them up and I don't look in it, you can pretty much guarantee that there was nothing cool in it. If it was something memorable, I would just automatically be jogged in my own mind to show you guys in the series, right? It's not like we'd pick up some kind of power weapon, and then I just totally wouldn't show any of you guys it. That would be kind of ridiculous. Anyway, so yeah, this is just a few pickups here in the northern area, and very little else for us to do. But I do want to find this secret button, which I totally found really easily last time I was playing. I keep thinking as well, when I'm watching the videos back, that there might be a secret button on the rocks. Because I swear I saw a part last episode where it looked just like the rock had a real secret button on it, but it totally didn't, and then I just felt like I was being a bit of a fool. I thought it was like against this here. Or here, maybe there'll be a cut. Oh no, there you go, there it is. So there's the secret button. This creates the little light bridge. This allows us to cross. This is a mimic. So we are going to prepare a special new ability of ours called Meteor Storm. So we're going to cast it. And that is what it looks like, my friends. Does tons of damage. It's a whole bunch of fireballs. It's actually a very volatile spell, though, because if we were to, say, use a single fireball like this against a wall, what happens? Well, that basically happens. I was going to try and cast a fire shield there. It actually splashes back on us. It does damage to us. And so if you do the firestorm against a wall, it can do crazy nonsense amounts of damage. So you want to be very cautious of that. I accidentally killed, I think it was Loto Pafo, again earlier while I was recording off screen because I accidentally cast it against a wall, which was ridiculous. He was already quite low, and it was only like one of the stray bolts that ended up hitting me also. Anyway, this is a really cool mimic or secret because this gives us the meteor gauntlets. The bulky joints and thick metal sheet make it difficult to bend your fingers, but the protection that these gauntlets offer is almost unbeatable. I just messed up reading there, so I will have had to have edited. I never mentioned it, guys, but congratulations to me. Last episode there was not a single like cut in the middle or edit that was caused by me messing up talking. Remember I tried to do an episode earlier in the series and totally paused it up? I actually managed to do that. Totally didn't even notice it at the time. I was just going on with it, and we did do some edits, but I need to cut stuff out like me walking around and not talking. But yeah, it was really, really cool. Anyway, so there you go. We'll equip that just for the superior protection, back up to 100, and I know he's lost a bit of strength from these, but whatever. It's nice to have a lot of the meteor stuff. He still doesn't have the meteor helm. I question now whether it exists. Maybe it's in one last tiny little area of this dungeon, because if we equip the shield, we're not going to get the ding for the full meteor set. But that must be the last thing, right? The helmet. And something else that we'll probably get this episode. So anyway, there you go. That's this floor now complete, guys. This is basically all the stuff up here. And the game's going to get kind of interesting now. I actually, to be honest, I'm a little concerned of the kind of things I'll be able to talk about as we dive deeper into the mines here, because it becomes all very kind of self-explanatory. It's a little bit like, I guess, the desert. I mean, it's not totally the same as the desert, where I could just like do that montage or whatever. But here, there's going to be just like an awful lot of fighting once we hit a certain point. So let's go downstairs. You will remember as well, we saw a squid thing. There it is, it's over there. I actually think on my test file, I don't remember fighting him down here. I feel like he might have gone down. Wow, has he already gone to attack us? That's freaking brilliant. Okay. He really got to us very quickly there, didn't he? I can't even see him. Where is he? There. Oh my god, he's in the middle of the area. All right, well, we'll cast Meteor Storm here. Oh, there's two. That's fine. And again, you'll notice that the Meteor Storm is an awful lot like flurry of like slashes or whatever. In the okay, and some ammo will have just fallen from him to the floor below, but it's okay. We'll collect it in a second. But it's one of these things where you need to stay in without like line of sighting or whatever for a long period of time. So you can't just do a quick hit and then start dancing again. It roots you in place basically. And that is an important thing about this spell that sort of balances it a little bit, in my opinion. Anyway, so there you go. You also notice the specific hits of damage it does aren't necessarily the highest things in the world. So there we go. Dealt with them both pretty well. And wasn't there a spider over here as well? Yeah, there was. There's going to be a lot of enemies, what can I say? The funny thing about Sanon being able to cast this Meteor Storm now is I feel like the whole series I've basically just been using the top left room. Someone even mentioned, they were like, well, it feels like, you know, whenever Sanon's drunk, this is just him casting the fire spell. Whenever he manages to cast something else, it's that he had a very brief moment of clarity, and now it's like he's become this badass guy and all these fire spells that he's been pinging off. He's finally sobered up and he's just become this god. Here, check it out. We find a rope. This thing is very late in the game. Even if you try and do all of the cuts as you possibly can, you know, you don't deal with the pyramid or anything. Most of the stuff, you just try and get to the crystal mines as quick as possible in the game. And somehow you have managed to get here super underleveled. The rope is just so far away, and it has been so useful to us up until this point, hasn't it? We've used this so many times. I feel like really you only have one option when it comes to the cache. Yes, you get those items from the thief's cache or whatever later on in the game, but this rope comes so much later in the game. I can't ever imagine replaying Grimrock 2. I would do a lot of things differently if I replayed the game, but I cannot ever imagine still not collecting that rope. Anyway, so Jonku got pretty low there. Here we go. And it'll be nice. I mean, we actually don't need it. We don't need to. So what I'm going to do here is just drop it on the floor again. Because, hey, who needs that much rope? Even though it looks like we're falling these immense distances here. And you can't ever imagine the rope actually coming all the way down. Yeah. You know, I think ropes would have been kind of an interesting idea as well in this game. As being like consumables. Maybe having a chance to be like unrecoverable. If you think mechanically of the way a rope works too, like you tie it at the top and then you climb down, and you're not necessarily going to be able to get that back right away. And I appreciate you could climb back up and regain it or whatever, but I just think it probably would have been a more engaging mechanic if it was like a currency that you spent almost, right? Like you were saving them just as you save firearms ammo, you know, and you use it at very specific times where you're quite cautious. But whatever, we just get one item and we keep it forever, and that's, I guess, a bit more convenient to players. So, you may have noticed something here. On this next floor, everywhere we have walked has been a dead end. We've walked here, this is a door, and it's shut, and there's lots of enemies back there. This guy might actually fly out to attack us, but there you go, we actually managed to avoid the dark bolt, hooray! The Final Fantasy Dark attack we avoided. You'll notice that these guys attack from behind as well, which is interesting because it means we can do lots of damage to them when they do it because of the backstabs. But yeah, that ammo we'll collect in a second. But see, you'll see that actually this is closed. Where else can we go? Well, that's where we came from. If we try and go forward, we come over here and... well, it's just some kind of a dead end, right? If we try and take a left from where we originally came through. My voice is going all kinds of crazy at the moment because of this cough. Oh my god. You'll find like one of these spider sacks and all the little spiders scurry away. But if we come down here, you'll see we need another mine key to get through this door. Here you will find a secret button and you might think, aha, so this is where we're meant to go. And we'll wait for this to open up. I think a butt ton of enemies are going to come out. Oh, another thing also, now that we're casting this spell, Sannon's going to start needing a lot more energy potions, so I'm going to use a whole bunch of ether weed here. Which, hey, we've been stockpiling through most of the game, so there you go, 5 potions, that should be fine. And, oh no, okay, so I guess there's no enemies. We will come into a bit of a bigger room. A couple of pickups, got a couple of boxes here. I think, by the way, guys, there could be like a lot of small things I end up missing on the floor. So like throwing axes here. We don't really care about these, but there is stuff like blood drop caps, loads of random anti-venom things, all sorts. Oh, we find a teleporter. We can come through the teleporter. And you'll notice now that we're in sort of a different area, same floor, but a different area. And we do get a secret, but this is all a secret. This isn't actually the way to progress, which is totally when I was first playing, I thought it was. This is a really cool item. We're going to equip this onto Jonker here. Jonker currently has the Spirit Walker pendant, okay? So by unequipping this, yes, he can no longer devastate twice in a row. That's sort of okay, though, because we're going to get a new weapon soon anyway. And here we find the Crystal Amulet, which is what he's going to equip now. You will see here that this grants immunity for the wearer to poison, disease, paralysis, slow, blindness, and petrify. I believe these are all the conditions in the game. They're all detailed out here. We get it late on in the game as well. That's kind of good design because it means you don't have it all written out for you until you've seen all of these things at least once, basically, right? So, so yeah, we are now immune to all this stuff, which is great because actually on this floor there's a lot of spiders that are poisoning us. There are a lot of enemies putting this blindness on us and so forth. Actually, slow must just be what they call being overburdened. Anyway, the flavor text reads, this amulet was precisely cut from a living crystal. When you place it close to your ear, you can hear a soothing humming sound. The amulet protects its wearer with great magics. Now, the reason I'm putting this on Jonker is because Lotopatho, being a lizard man, already has fair resistance anyway to everything. This is like putting his resistance to, except elemental resistances, it's like putting his resistances to all those other things to like maxed out, which is really cool. So that's going to be great, and it will also save us on a few of these venom things. Also consider that our 2 backline people are wearing experience amulets at the moment and won't be get hit by the brunt of most attacks. So yeah. Great little secret, but oh my god, wow. How the hell did you get there? Oh my god. That was like a full-on, that was like the first spider I ever saw in Grimrock 1. What the hell? These guys have followed us here? It must have been released. There's a lot of stuff here, by the way, of just spiders randomly appearing. And this is kind of what I'm talking about, where it's like, okay, how much can I really talk to you guys about about killing spiders? I mean, sure, we could maybe eat spiders. They must have come out of here. Here we go. You also find as well, and I find it kind of silly, a lot of mudwort here. I was just telling you guys about how I think mudwort's actually pretty rare. No, we're going to start getting tons of mudwort, so that's kind of cool. Alright, there we go. So that's that little doorway that opened. And again, so what do we do, guys? We've actually just got a bunch of doors. No matter what direction we go in. Now, here's the thing. Any normal player is probably immediately going to think, okay, what we want to do is go downstairs then, right? This seems pretty obvious. There's probably going to be something downstairs that allows us to open all these doors. Maybe we're going to be climbing back up somehow. You know, this will be some kind of interesting little play that they do here. Well, not quite. See, that's what I originally did, and I spent most of my time at this point. There's a great example of being able to hit enemies from behind, by the way, without stealth. I spent most of my time from this point in the chamber below, which we've never seen, of course, just yet. Turns out the game is sort of trolling you if you look very carefully. If I cast a fireball over there, you'll actually notice there's a pressure pad on the floor. That is really hard to see. I actually think this is one of the cheapest things Grimrock 2 does. Everything else is pretty intuitive. This is just, oh, hey, were you lucky enough to see that over there? It's a pretty big room. There's a lot of vantages and places you could be looking off into the distance. So this is actually the way you progress. You're going to fire that bolt across, and it will open that door, it will close some other doors and so on. But this will actually enable you to continue exploring, get the mine key, and yada yada yada. Despite all that, we're going downstairs because there's cool stuff down here. Okay, so now guys, we are in the Crystal Mine Abyss. I will point out this is the bottom floor to this this dungeon. Someone gave out a prediction of maybe about 5 episodes left in the series. I don't know how correct entirely that is, but I wouldn't say it's too far off. This is the bottom of the dungeon. And what we're going to try and do here before the episode ends is get ourselves a power gem. Now, you might be wondering, why am I still killing all of these things? What's the point? I think it'd be really cool still if this affected like spawns later or something. Like the more you kill for no reason, the more enemies you fight at the end later. Which of course, because of game mechanics, would mean, hey, you actually want to kill all of them because then you get experience and so forth. But actually, I think the reason that I'm killing these right now is because we're going to do a lot of fighting in this room in a bit, and I want freedom of movement. So yeah. What we're going to do as well is come into a couple of little side chambers. Here we find a lightning blade. Now, this is actually... Is this something we've seen before, I think? A rolling thunder can be heard every time the blade of this sword moves through the air. The weapon itself isn't that good, but it does enable someone who has light weapons 1 and concentration 1 to cast lightning bolt. Now, if Lotopatho had gone into those trees for that poison bolt dagger we found ages ago, then maybe I would have someone in my party that this was suited for, but I currently don't. So actually, I'm just going to put that back down there. We have other ways of dealing lightning damage, and it's very specific that the game is trying to show us lightning damage here. You'll notice in this room also it gives us 3 lightning bombs, which we're going to make use of in just a second. We also get some anti-venom there, which is great. Here we have a door. This is how you get back out. This is shut at the moment. That teleporter takes us back up into the crystal mine core and basically running the stairway that we climbed down just at the start of this video. Here we're running over some ammo that dropped from the squids as well earlier. Here we get a box, which I guess we can open up. I don't remember what's in here. Just a bunch more alchemy stuff, as you can see there. You know, there's so much in this dungeon that I have been collecting alchemy stuff and then taking the time to put it all in this little sack. I don't half wonder if it would just be better to have the friggin' alchemy stuff in the inventory without being in a sack. Like, I like the organization of it, but in order to actually save space through this technique, you have to be constantly fiddling about with things because it won't ever automatically sort in there. I don't know, and I think long run, it might just be better to leave them in there loose. I don't know. I guess it depends on the kind of player you are. Here we get a spider, who we can totally kill. There we go. Already running out of things to say. We'll find the spiders. Oh, look! And here's a face. This has some very cool information for us. The 20 power gems lie on the path to enlightenment. Well, we're already pretty enlightened. We've been pretty much everywhere we can be on the island in this game. And so, we already kind of understand this. Think about it. 4 gems for fire, 4 gems for earth, 4 gems for water, 4 gems for air. That's 16 gems. And what did we get upstairs? Another gem, right? So, oh wow, that was back in the hamlet of Stormbreach. So it looks like, guys, we have 17 out of 20 gems, and we've sighted one of those. We've sighted gem 18. We're about to get gem 19 too. Okay, so let's break a couple more of these. And it's kind of weird to see those guys' faces like here as well. Usually we see them out under the sun, right? I don't think we've exclusively seen them out under the sun. But it's like this one here in the depths of this mine. Has something like bonus to talk to us about, or something more important, serious to say. Here we get a crystal. When I failed, when I got game over on my test file earlier, this is totally where I ended up back, and I was like ages ahead of this, and I was like, screw this, I am not interested in doing everything. So yeah, there you go. We'll just grab a couple of those ingredients. We'll sort them out in a bit as well. Here we get some more. More things to smash, smashy smash. And here we're going to find a lever. Now, by pulling this lever, you might not immediately recognize what this has done, but actually around the other side of this central formation, you'll find that that door originally that was closed in front of the teleporter is now open. See, so we can come back up, and we're back up here. Of course, we haven't done anything down there that would help us up here, so let's climb down once again with the rope. And also, I get it, 2 of us are hungry. I think Tikrit's going to get another... Oh, no, he doesn't. I think Tikrit's mutation trait, which he got from being a ratling. I haven't really talked about the traits and stuff. Character creation is such a huge part of this game, guys. It's unbelievably a huge part of this game. And this series, like, just does not touch on it that much at all, does it? It's funny how that works. Anyway, yeah, because Tikrit has mutation that I gave him a character creation. Every time he levels up, he's got a random chance of getting a stat. You will have been noticing it throughout the series. I think he actually gets a useful one this time as well. Unless I'm just thinking about the last bit of cheese that he ate, I'm not sure. Okay, oh, Sanon needs to eat as well. Sorry, Sanon. Do you want some sausage? I actually think Jonka would enjoy the sausage more than anyone else. Wow, and don't read into that. Okay, so over here we've got a shut door again, and oh, what do you know? Another mine key that apparently we need. So again, we're like a bit swamped. We're being a bit blocked off here. We've got another anti-venom, no doubt. There you go. And we get something very interesting. This is the Forge of Fallen Stars, of the Fallen Stars. We don't get any more of a hint as to what that could possibly be anywhere in the game. That's it. Forge of the Fallen Stars. What could that possibly mean? And for many players, they will just wander off and have no friggin' idea. What is perhaps a fallen star to people in a society and in an environment like this, in a game, in a universe like this? Perhaps a meteor? Oh yes, so we dug up this meteor specifically before we came to the crystal mines, so that if we place the meteorite on this shrine, at the shrine of the fallen stars, it dings a secret for you, and you get the meteor hammer. And this is a weapon that Jonker will be enjoying. I think Bane still has its uses. So here we get the meteor hammer, and we're going to equip it here. This thing doesn't do too much less damage than Bane, okay? So its max range is 171 compared to Bane's, which is 192. However, Bane's cooldown is 6 seconds, while this thing is only 4. Alright, so it's actually way more damage overall, and especially in an environment where you're not using special abilities. Now, you'll also notice it does have a special ability. The special ability is Meteor Storm. So Sandon's just learned this crazy powerful magic, been spending all the time. Jonker can totally use that if he gets Fire Magic 1, if we teach him Fire Magic 1. So what we're going to do here is we are finally going to level Jonker up once again. We're going to give him the Spirit Mirror Pendant just for a second. We're going to open up his inventory. We're going to let him nom on some fish. And he was hungry at the time pretty much. And there you go. That's Jonker to level 15. I doubt he'll level up again. He might once more. It depends how much grind I do off screen. And if we go to skills now and give him Fire Magic 1. The other thing I want to finish him off with is armor, honestly. But we give him Fire Magic 1. There you go. He becomes this ultimate heavy weapons badass who has the Meteor Hammer and can cast Meteor Storm. The flavor text reads, the head of this weapon is made of an actual meteorite which has been imbibed with permanency magics. The meteorite still radiates heat. So if we hold it down, he does pretty ridiculous damage. So how cool is that? That is awesome. This is, for many people, sort of like the ultimate, it's like the legendary weapon of Grimrock. Kind of a long path to get there as well, you know, the figuring out the whole meteor thing, finding out where to dig, coming down here to the very bottom of what is largely an optional dungeon. Yeah, only a certain kind of player is ultimately going to end up with that. Again though, cool secret, don't get me wrong. But what are we supposed to be doing? No, we've mapped this whole place out now. Well, we need to figure out a puzzle that is over here that I showed you guys sort of, but glossed over earlier. This is the Power Me Up puzzle. That sounds kind of weird. It says Power Me Up. Now over here you've got a thing that would shoot a bolt, right? And you'd expect it to go into this slot and then probably open this door. Except we have no way of activating it whatsoever. So for this puzzle we need to power it up ourselves, sort of. And so the way in which we're going to do this is with lightning magic. Now, just a lightning bolt isn't... Oh my god, wow, it is enough. Holy crap. It is enough, but it does damage to us, so that's not great. A lightning bolt will power it up, and that will make that fire this thing, but we then obstructed the projectile. So what we're going to do is, remember, in this very floor, we got both lightning bombs, and we got a sword that would allow us to fire a lightning bolt should we maybe not have a mage or someone that's gone that far into air magic and so forth. Well, there's plenty of opportunities. I'm using the lightning bomb one. We're going to throw that. We're going to step to the side. It's going to fire the thing. It's going to hit the thing. It's going to open the door. And then we're going to get another thing, the mine key. Like 101, the worst thing you can do when trying to like do commentary is say thing a million times, and that's totally what I just did. So yeah, check it out, we got the mine key. Amazing. So now we actually have a choice. What do we want to use this for? Do we want to use it upstairs or do we want to use it down here? I thought I'd messed up maybe when I couldn't quite figure out what was going on upstairs, that pressure pad that I showed you guys, because I'd used the key down here. Well, we're going to use it down here as well, and we're going to keep making some progress. Oh my god, we're 24 minutes in. Wow, Jesus. I guess we'll go a bit quickly. Once we've done this, you're going to see some fire elementals. They're not easy. They're not hard to miss. Now, Jonker no longer can do damage to fire elementals because he has the meteorite hammer, which itself is fire damage. So I'm just going to cast the fire shield to protect us here because basically it's going to have to be 2 quick hits from Loto Patho or a strike from Bane, but he missed with Bane, so whatever. So yeah, we're going to get a bunch of fire elementals. They're actually going to get released in a pretty big way out into the mines here. We've got some mudwort there. And if we continue exploring just a little bit through one of these side passages, we may get a glimpse. Here's the pit root bread. That's not where I want it to be. It's over here. It's not through a secret switch or anything, is it? No, I don't think so. Blood drop cap. Like, there's just so much random stuff on the floor in this place. Yeah, we come into this large room here, and there's a note on the floor. Who wrote the note? Probably not the Island Master since he didn't sign it, but check it out. It says, "Watch your step." And it looks kind of scary because there's monsters and stuff down there, of course. And there's also a spider down there too. So it seems where we might step in one place that would be really disastrous, really dangerous, and we could fall through. So I'm just going to slip through like that on the corner, and we're not going to worry about that this episode. We're going to open this gate, and what do you know? We find another power gem. So think about this honestly, guys. This power gem here, there's one upstairs, which we'll get next episode, and then we have 19 out of the 20 power gems in the game. Oh yeah. Well, we still don't quite know where the hell we would use these power gems. We have to think about Kilhagen a little bit for that, perhaps. But that will all come in good time. Thanks very much for watching, guys. We're pretty much done with the Crystal Mine Abyss now. Though collecting that power gem, we may find next episode, has angered a few denizens of the mines. So I'll see you guys next time for that. Hope you have a great day. I'll catch you tomorrow.